Alright, I know what you were expecting, but I promise you, a long review for the Batman is going to be coming out on this channel. But it's April Fool's Day, and what better review can you get other than our discussion for 2019's Joker starring Joaquin Phoenix. It's a review that we recorded the night of us first watching the film in theaters. It's myself, Julius, Angel, and his brother Robert. It's a whole lot of talk for a whole lot of film. Please enjoy April Fool's Day.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening. This is the GOAT Movie Podcast. My name is Angel.
I am Julius.
And I'm Robert.
We love talking about movies. Thank you so much for joining us today. We just watched Joker, and we're going to be reviewing the film. First, we're going to give our initial reactions to the movie. This is going to be non-spoiler for those of you who like listening to reviews without getting spoiled. We're going to give you our initial reaction to the movie, and then we're going to dive into the juicy stuff. We're going to get under the skin and reveal the paint on our faces and
Shit, the medium rare.
just get into the details of the movie, explain the end, compare Joaquin Phoenix to Heath Ledger, of course, because it's inevitable. We need to do that.
We
so,
just started doing that. Robert,
before we even started recording. But here we go, guys. I want to get off. I want to first start off things with our initial reactions to the movie. Robert, you just saw this movie, Joker. We've been waiting for a very long time for this movie.
Long ass time.
What were your initial thoughts to seeing this movie, walking right out of the movie?
I definitely think it's better. It's better than what I expected. My breath was taken away by Joaquin Phoenix, especially. Definitely.
Literally at times.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah.
I definitely think he is going to be nominated this year.
Yeah, he has to
I hope he does. I honestly hope he does.
he'll probably win.
I hope he wins.
Yeah. And
I hope he wins.
I don't know how
he did his damn research.
Yeah.
He did his damn research, and he did, and he performed
Yeah.
that laugh. I can tell multiple times. He got it down.
God.
You seen his Letterman interview?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
he got it down. He definitely got it down, and
What'd you think about the music?
the music, phenomenal. I just found out that the composer, I guess, is a new and upcoming composer, and I really hope that she gets notice from this movie, as I said a little earlier, and you said this movie will get her recognized because the music is by far amazing. It's just everywhere everywhere.
It like flows through your intestines. Like,
it does. No, it seriously does.
It's haunting, and it's empowering, and you'll understand why when you watch the movie.
Flows through your intestines.
Yeah, bro. The music is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like I can't believe that it like. Think about the Joker music in The Dark Knight, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We all know that music. Mm-hmm. That left my mind watching this movie.
Yeah.
Like, it was so insane.
Yeah,
but
no, seriously. This put a whole nother thought of what music we're going to think about when we think of Joker.
yeah,
Yeah. And I love that, dude. I love that.
Oh.
Not many composers can do that to comparing it to Hans Zimmer's soundtracks. Don't get me wrong, Hans Zimmer's is freaking legendary.
Yeah, go.
But this one is, it sticks with you.
Well, the fact that
For sure.
you can compare
yeah.
is a very great testament to the quality that we got.
Exactly.
You know, the attitude that was pushed when it came to the production, the creativity, and the look on the Joker, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And
would you recommend this to?
I would recommend this to everybody. Definitely to everybody. Even if you're not
I wouldn't recommend this to my mom. Just saying. I had to say it.
This guy. I would recommend this to everybody, even for those people who don't follow DC, who don't follow Marvel.
Yeah.
I just think standalone itself, it's one hell of a movie to watch.
You know,
wild.
that's a great point because it acts in the way that The Dark Knight did, funny enough. Whereas that's a famous, like 10 years later, it's still held up amongst people. You know, not just comic book fans. For a long time, it wasn't even considered really a comic book movie because it was so much elevated above everything that was coming out at the time. You know, and it's, I mean, that's arguably the case here with Joker. What?
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Julius, we just walked out of the film.
Yeah, man. What
did you think about this movie?
I was scared of this movie, man. This movie was
This movie's real life.
Yeah, it's
very real life.
Very real, especially now that we're more connected to this film in a way that we hadn't really been with other superhero films this year or the last couple of years because of the controversy and everything. You know, people are afraid to see the movie because of the subject matter. And, I mean, I won't judge the fear because it's very real fear. And I was kind of feeling that, you know, I was pretty connected to the film, not just because controversy exists, but because it dealt with it so heavily. You know, it explored it. It was like, hey, why does this exist? Why does this fear of violence and, you know, masculinity at times, why does it affect us in the way that it does? And you see that to the extreme with this character, of this version of the Joker. You know, I love that when I watched Dark Knight for the first time, it ruined every other Joker after it for like 10 years. And I got that feeling with Joaquin leaving the theater. It's like, oh, I don't need to see... if the Robert Pattinson versus Joker is not Joaquin, I don't think I need Joker in that trilogy.
Like,
you know?
good.
Like, I don't need it.
No, exactly.
The impact that Heath Ledger left upon not just pop culture, but Batman lore is forever cemented.
Yeah. It's ruined other takes since.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. And it's also influenced other takes.
Yes.
You know, we see Joker in comics now with the scars on his lips and stuff like that. The hair, you know.
Even
the
with
grit,
Joaquin.
You know? Yeah, even with Joaquin. I gotta tell you, with this movie, to be fair, I never knew that like a standalone Joker movie would be able to work. We've never seen it before. We've never seen them kind of take this like graphic novel approach towards a character and put him as a character focused, driven, point of view, character study film.
Well, it worked.
And it worked. It
worked. That
worked.
Lex Luthor film better come out, sir.
Well, hello. Beautiful. This film was. I gotta tell you, like, I'm shaking. Like, I'm trembling.
You're gonna grab Todd Phillips,
You know?
like like that.
Like, this film, it's the real deal. It's not a joke at all. I thought the movie was an unstoppable force. And we, as the audience members, were immovable objects. I could not get out of my seat. I couldn't keep my eyes off of the screen. And to be honest, I just felt like it was really hard to watch in some moments. And it's funny because I feel like I've seen it all. And yet the way that they present the material in this movie feels so sadistic, so true to life, that it almost feels like you're not watching a movie. Like the fact that they were able to take comic book material, and already the fact that comics are heightened reality, this felt way more elevated than that. Like it felt like the same vibe of The Dark Knight, but now bringing it more to our world even more. Like even way more grounded, which was troubling. Like it was seriously troubling to watch. The music, like I mentioned before, it possesses your entire body, and it just... each scene just becomes so much more better with the film. Joaquin Phoenix, my God. This might be, like, it's arguably his best performance, and I'm not even playing around. And he has more than 6 of those, right?
I think it's his best performance.
And the fact that I could even say that he had, and I said this multiple times out of the movie theater, he had that Heath Ledger energy where he just places you in the mindset of the Joker, takes you hostage, does not let you go, traps you. It's absolute insanity. He was crazy. This film is bonkers.
It just felt so real, dude. It felt so real. It didn't feel like he was acting one freaking bit of the movie.
And I love the fact that the film, it it teaches us about compassion. It teaches us about empathy.
Yeah.
It teaches us, when you interpret it the right way,
Right.
it teaches us that kindness, a little bit of kindness, can go a long way. And I love that aspect of the film. I love that.
Even
as horrid,
especially near the end.
Yeah, as horrid as the
movie.
the content of this movie is,
the Joker.
there's still that message that you take away from it, that, you know, treat others the way that you want to be treated.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
because
man.
there is
Good will
always a
come out of it.
possibility. There's always a possibility that you can create monsters. You know?
But here's the thing: is that possible in hell? Does the golden rule apply? Because that's what Gotham is.
Yeah.
It's hell on earth. So it's the craziest thing. There's a little spark of hope, I think, at the very end.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
we can definitely get into it.
Yeah.
But I think that's a major theme. Is hope, compassion? Is that a real option for most people? And I think the movie doesn't really answer it, because I don't think that Joker's job is to answer it. It's to act upon it.
Yeah. He's
But,
taking
yeah.
advantage of the system that he's placed in.
Yeah.
Right? Because he finally realizes through self-purpose, like, this is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah.
This is how I'm seen. Right? But I think there can be an answer taken away from that. The fact that one of the characters says, not all of us are bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that I will always, like, agree with. And that I will always...
But
like,
did they win the movie,
gravitate
though?
towards, you know?
Did
Gravitate.
they win the movie, though? Is
You
the
know?
movie about Joker?
But, yeah, I just felt like
This movie's ridiculous.
This movie is ridiculous, and I love that it focuses on mental illness. The one thing I will say about the movie, though, is I know there's been this whole controversy surrounding, like, this movie will incite violence and everything.
I did a video on it.
Now that I've seen the movie, I during watching this, I had a fear that this movie could stumble across somebody who could misinterpret the message, and who could be encouraged to act upon their horrific tendencies. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
I think that speaks to the power of this movie, though. The power that it has the ability to influence not just people who want to do good, but people who have negative thoughts. You know, but to wrap up my initial thoughts, I have nothing but positive thoughts about this film. I truly believe it is a masterpiece, and I give it a 10 out of 10 without a doubt. Joaquin Phoenix was electric, and I actually love the vulnerability that he brought to the Joker in a way I've never seen before, actually, in any adaptation.
Yeah.
There are definitely a lot of influences from previous Jokers. I love the one that you mentioned with The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, yeah.
Without
I was
a doubt.
but to be fair, I was saying that since the
Oh,
movie was announced.
absolutely.
I was like, I want to see him be gay. All right, that's what I want to see.
Without a doubt. And I do love that, like, that flamboyant quality that he has to himself, because he feels like himself when behaving that
Well,
way.
you get
know?
you get an actor like Joaquin Phoenix,
Yeah.
with a voice like his and a demeanor like his. It's a smart way of going.
Yeah.
It's not the only way of going, but it is a very good way to go.
Yeah.
The very Dark Knight Returns, Batman, Darling. That's perfect.
I was just scared during the movie.
What do you think of the cinematography in this film, bro?
I felt uncomfortable. I
I never wanted to sleep in trash so bad.
No, dude, I love the cinematography. It looked gorgeous. I
Yeah.
love that it was such a throwback and homage to 1970s film. Multiple times during the film, I was like, dude, this feels like Taxi Driver. This feels like Warriors, actually.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
love that whole overarching theme of, like,
French Connection.
anti-authority,
Yeah.
you know, like anti-rich, and making sure there's equality between different class structures of poverty and the rich. It was a sick movie.
Which
Like, it was a sick
better,
film.
though? Dark Knight trilogy or this? Which portrayed that better? The disparaging nature between both.
I think this one.
Yeah.
I think you have to go
Yeah,
with this one.
absolutely.
I mean, especially with the end. You definitely see a difference in mentality between those who are poor and those who are rich, and the way that the rich look down upon the poor and how they take advantage of them. I mean, it's like real life. I love the fact that Joker takes a mirror, holds it up to our own society, unveils the mask that society has. Society's not all good, you know? Like, I do feel like nowadays it is a cynical place, and a lot of us do take advantage of the system. But I love the fact that this film reveals society's true colors, the toxicity that lingers around all of us. You know, we got to look out for one another. We got to treat each other with compassion, sympathy, empathy. What makes us human?
You hear that, Ron?
It's got all that stuff. This film is like, this is a film. Like, if I had a French accent, this is a film.
Can I talk about my one complaint of the movie, though?
What's your one
I'm
complaint?
lodging my complaint into your theater. Because you guys promoted Skid Row documentary right before Joker started. And I know what that was about. I've been there. It really set the tone for the film. Okay, it reminded me how close I am to Joker right now.
Okay.
It's messed up.
Yeah, bro.
I wish there was more people there to witness the movie with us.
Yeah.
The audience wasn't that big, which is
unfortunate.
But it'll get around. I definitely think it'll get around, and everybody's gonna see the Joker he had to show us, because
it was nuts, bro.
It was crazy.
It was
bro.
nuts. It was graphic. It's unforgettable. It'll never leave my mind. Yeah, dude. I was just I was at a loss of words, honestly, by the end. And I do think the movie is dangerous. I really do. Like, the existence of the movie, I think, is a bit dangerous, especially, you know, I think that movies have the power to influence good and stuff, but, you know, it could be the other way around.
I mean, well, the situation that's been cited the most, like the reason there's controversy, obviously the Dark Knight Rises thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
I'm not even thinking about that, though. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just thinking about some of the stuff that was said in the movie, how Joker felt personally.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
We're literally watching this movie from the driver's seat. Like, we are in the point of view of the Joker. We see him get, you know, messed up in the film, you know, emotionally and physically.
There's no superhero to take him down.
No, nobody to take him down. He's free. He's liberating from, you know, causing harm. And the film, in his perspective, because it is perspective, says it's okay.
Yeah.
Says nothing bad will happen to you. We're going to champion you, you know? And that's what kind of makes it like it's alarming. It's alarming.
It can be.
But
it can be. I think it's mainly, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think it's
okay.
mainly because it's a big movie that the reason this controversy, because movies like this come out, you know. The independent film has been doing this for the last couple years, and they've been making really good shit because of it. You know.
Hey, if Thanos, if Thanos won an Endgame and didn't inspire any violence, then Joker could do the same.
Let's not blow this out of proportion.
I mean, even Dark Knight, Dark Knight, though, you know, like back then, I know there's that whole thing with the guy who went to the theater, called himself Joker and shit. But that dude's just crazy. You know, that dude's just nuts. He was going to do it anyway, you know, and,
Joaquin is
we got to be more responsible.
Yeah.
But I think this is actually
I just don't want, it sucks that one incident is literally traumatizing every other future Joker films. And because my buddy told me earlier, before we saw the movie, he went to the theaters and there was police having to watch the movies with them. And that's unfortunate. But goddamn, go see this damn movie still. I don't care.
It's reality. We're all clowns.
Just realize.
We don't all look out for one.
You're a clown, boy. Not me, son.
I see what you post on Twitter. Smile face and then the clown all over it.
Literally, Angel goes out of his way to Photoshop a clown face on his face.
I was excited, man. I was excited.
You a clown.
What's all this
I told you.
You get in a car accident, we gotta pay for this.
Look, I wanted to be disturbed by this movie, and I got more than what I wanted. I'm serious. Like, it was a traumatizing film.
Bro.
And let me speak to the nature of how traumatizing it is. Our dad he's seen it all, honestly, because he's a firefighter and a paramedic. He's seen it all. The stories he tells me are horrific. I've never seen him this shaken by a film. You know, like he truly was like like I said, the way they presented the material,
Got under his skin, dude.
it was something was off about it. Like it was just off. You know, it wasn't right. Especially the way that he killed people as if like they were nothing. You know, and that he enjoyed it and that he found it funny.
As if they were nothing.
You know?
I think they were a lot to him.
Their death meant nothing. I felt like.
I don't know, man.
Not
There's
that their
this-
death meant nothing. It's the
I mean,
ability
yeah.
to. I don't want to spoil nothing. I'm gonna spoil something.
No,
much.
let's get into
I'll
spoilers.
just say
now.
that
Let's get
they're-
into spoilers.
Sure.
Let's talk
All right,
about
yeah.
Let's talk about the actual the very
Wait,
first moment.
before that, you know the movie's a masterpiece when you get those looks that Joaquin Phoenix gives to the camera that are just completely insane. It makes you cringe, dude.
Yeah.
Makes you cringe.
Yeah, you don't want to be around him.
Bro, if I had like a classmate like that, best believe I'll knock that kid out. If he looks at me like that.
You know, you got a successful Joker movie when Joker's barely in the motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I want to
saying?
ask you guys this. Getting into spoilers, what do you guys think about the whole notion of him having this condition, laughing uncontrollably, and
Smart.
You know,
I thought
giving
that
people
was
cards that like he had this
lit.
condition and stuff.
I thought that was lit. I
Yeah,
think
it
that
was really
was
good.
lit because he wasn't born to be Joker, or he wasn't born Joker. He became Joker over time, right? So I definitely think it was that was very generous on his side of things, just to let people know, like, hey,
This is a thing.
this is an actual condition I have. I'm gonna go out of my way to make you guys cards. That's hella nice of him to do that. Not everybody does
Yeah,
that.
no.
I didn't
It's
even know
such-
this
yeah.
existed.
No.
Pathological
Yeah.
lying. I
Yeah.
knew you could die. of
Pathological
laughter.
laughing.
Or what did I say?
You said pathological lying.
Oh, this is same
Yeah.
shit.
thought you
Or
said-
not same shit, but he does
Yeah.
both things.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no.
Super interesting.
Angel showed me a video of the damn thing
Of the guy?
the
No.
actual condition before the movie
Yeah.
even
Oh.
came out.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm thinking, what the hell? That's creepy. Joaquin Phoenix did it even better.
Yeah.
Than the people
Yeah.
on YouTube.
It seems like he actually has it.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
Such a fucked up thing to say. I guess that's a good thing
bro,
to say. I mean,
I'm telling you,
I
his
don't know.
acting was on par.
Absolutely.
Like, obviously, the condition is terrible. Like that, it sucks to constantly have to laugh at things you don't want to laugh at. But
yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix,
Oh.
as an actor, and as me criticizing his work in that film, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it was truly amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing because it's just another part of this character.
Yeah.
Whereas
They've added something.
They've applied a real world element to
Yeah.
make it feel more grounded. A lot of the time when
Crazy,
we see
dude.
Joker,
It's all like, let's go Christopher Nolan. On
let's
this
do that.
Yeah.
And even with the Nolan Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, when he laughs, I feel like it's obviously different, but there's irony behind it. You know, every time he laughs, it's because he's laughing at a situation or a person or whatever the hell. Shut the hell up. You're not Heath. You're beneath. All right.
Yeah.
With Jared Leto, it was just there. Just you can tell when the laugh is there because it has to be there.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, it's applied.
Yeah.
It makes him creepier to everyone. It's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I love the fact that they used this idea of a real world, a real world disease,
Yeah.
and aided it to their story, their push for mental illness and to raise awareness for that.
Yes.
I love the fact that this movie encourages us to never be ignorant to mental illness, never consider mental illness as other, and just treat everyone with respect, and hopefully stop discouraging others from finding a cure for mental illness, or to be just more accepting of it.
Yeah.
That's what I really loved about it. They brought something different and new to the Joker, and I'm forever going to remember it. And I thought it was a really cool thing for an actor to be able to do, like Joaquin Phoenix. I think he really enjoyed it, and I could tell he enjoyed the hell out of this role, for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel says other things.
Yeah.
You said earlier that that Joaquin, or that this movie teaches us not to see illnesses as other.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what the movie was trying to tell us? Because for me, what I got was that Joaquin Phoenix was getting mad that everybody was treating him normally, even though he had his condition. I mean, that's what he specifically wrote on his paper, that he didn't want to be expected to act the normal way they did.
So the guys who beat him up in the train, they thought he was a freak because of his condition. He didn't even get a chance to tell them, right? But I don't think it would have mattered. Like, they beat him up because they saw him as different, right? And so because he is being acknowledged as, like,
I think they beat him up
else,
because they were drunk. He was laughing off to the side. They were making jokes earlier, so I don't know.
I mean, I could see that, but I definitely think the movie, doesn't want us to think of mental illness as, like, inferior or horrible, or people are different, so let's treat them differently.
I think they want us to look at it as powerful.
Yeah. I mean, in the same way that Split does it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at the way that Split does it.
That's a hard topic because, one, you don't want to treat people with illnesses differently, but there are people out there that if you treat them the same as you treat any other person, there are going to be those people who do get upset.
So, look, someone with mental illness, if they're happy that way, like if they actually feel like this is a part of me, this is who I am, I'm going to embrace myself like this forever. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You are normal, right? But if then someone has a mental illness and they're emotionally distraught by it, I think best case scenario, you're there for them, you listen to them, and you help them in any way that they can so that they can reach happiness.
Okay, I need you to go to, like, Joker's house and
Well, I mean,
go tell him that shit.
well, I mean, the people who did treat him with respect, they
could have helped out Joker, man.
lived through. But I want to get to the actual,
fucked
the
up Gotham.
very first scene that really, like, made me, like, take a step back, which was the scene on the train.
Yes.
What did you think about that scene?
Holy, this is spoilers.
Yeah.
Full spoilers.
Full spoilers.
I did not expect there to be 3 holes through the stomach of a dude on the side of the...
Dude.
That was insane. The 3 guys that were beating on him completely thought that Joaquin Phoenix was just going to wake up later on the train still.
Yeah.
That's how I thought that scene was going to end. Instead, we get him being beaten to the floor, pans out to the one of the beaters standing back up against the side of the opening door on the subway, and then out of nowhere we just see 3 shots in his stomach. We don't even see Joker yet. We see 3 holes in his stomach, and we're stunned, and then we see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker holding the gun, scared, but at the same time, you deserve it. Mm-hmm. And then he gives it off to the second person, and bro, when he walks off the sub just to chase the guy down, and the camera movement as he's walking and steadily stands in a very creepy position. Bro, this movie had so many
moments like that.
What the F moments.
Yeah.
And so many good camera
Yeah.
angles. Camera angles were insane in this movie.
Yeah, dude, he was killer. He literally, I think he saw John Wick, and that's what happened. That's what he did on the train. I think a perfect word to describe, like, the sequences that are like that throughout the movie is what your coworker used. Like, he felt paralyzed.
Yeah.
That's what it did for me, and I think for all of us, like, it was just, it froze you.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it did.
Julius, what did you think about that train scene?
The train scene was it was a nice change of pace. It was a nice flip.
Yeah.
Obviously, the whole movie is that, it's about a villain. It's about this psychotic person who goes full... I was about to say retard. Full,
Yeah, I know.
who goes full, Joker. I was reminded a lot of Batman Begins during that sequence. When he's doing it, or he's at least trying to do his thing, but he's not there yet. He's got a ski mask and like maybe a prototype of the suit.
Yeah.
I was reminded a lot of that. And I think it's a nice parallel. I think we in previous podcasts have talked about how Joker is just going to be the inverse of the Dark Knight trilogy. All three films.
I think that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, because there were moments where I was like, Robert, this is Batman Begins right now. Robert, this is Dark Knight right now. And then with the end, what if Joker was in the Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
That's what the end was.
Wow.
This movie felt like the inverse of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Bane would have got fucked
with
up.
the Joker, dude. It really was. This movie was diabolical. It was diabolical. It was vile. It was just so hard to watch.
It was nasty.
And then let's move on to the unreliable narrator sequence, which is when he had those dates with the girl that he liked.
Oh.
But she actually wasn't there. What did you think about that sequence? Did you catch it the first time that you watched it? How was it for you?
So, no, I actually didn't catch that to begin with. And reason why I didn't catch it to begin with is because I was so hooked on just paying attention to Joaquin Phoenix's acting. Mm-hmm. Literally, that scene, right before that scene, we get trembling music, deep music, dark hallways, him walking through, opening doors.
Yeah, so captivating.
And I'm so
just
like
invested.
Intrigued and invested, and I'm just watching him. And that was my mistake, because there was more going on the screen, but I didn't catch that the girlfriend that he was imagining was not there in the flashbacks. My eyes were just hooked up on him, and so I didn't find out till after the movie those never really happened. Those moments never really happened, and that actually makes me think, like, holy crap. It makes it even a better experience. I just would have wished I would have caught it right on the spot.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you're going to go watch Joker, pay attention to everything on screen.
Yeah. And
my mistake was just watching him, and God, dude.
And even when you do,
it's hard not to,
when you do pay attention, you can watch this movie again and get a completely different experience.
For real.
You know, and that's what I love about it. Julius, what did you think about that sequence? Was it pulled off well?
I had heard that this was a movie that brought in so many different people's theories, so many different people's interpretations of what was going on. So when they introduced the girl character, I think she had a name. When they introduce her character, is very distinct, and once they start getting into that relationship, I was kind of thinking, I wasn't kind of thinking, that it would be an illusion or something like that, mainly because for me the tell was the fact that the daughter was nowhere in sight. This woman represented to Arthur just, attention and lust, all these different very just sexual things,
and also how easily he was able to swoop.
Yeah. And that's where I thought the interpretations could have gone either way. You know, you could read the movie either way at that point, really, because we know as comic book fans that the character, the Joker, has that effect on people.
Yeah.
Look, what is Harley Quinn if not that moment right there? So for me, the tell was the fact that the girl was like nowhere in sight after that.
Yeah.
And
What got me, and this is just an applause to the editing, because it did get me. I was expecting, because we know the Joker, his origin story, sometimes he likes to think about it as multiple choice, right? Yes. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's going to be a scene where it's not actually happening and it'll be revealed to be in his head. And I'm thinking the whole time, what scene is it going to be? Like, everything kind of seems like this is actually happening. And what threw me off was when I saw the little girl in the elevator with her mom, and they're establishing that relationship there. And it seems like they kind of hit it off there. So I'm thinking, like, no, this has to be legit. But when they revealed that was all actually in his head and he was just talking to himself, it kind of blew me away, dude. Like, I like because I've seen so many examples.
Freaking cat.
I've seen so many examples of unreliable narrator and stuff that the movie just wants to show you. you know, and it got me. So
Yeah.
I think the editing was very well done here,
Yeah.
and it added another element of just a nauseating experience for me, to be honest.
It also kept true to the idea of the Joker, where
Yeah.
it is, like you said, an origin would ruin it.
Yeah.
You know, don't do an origin.
Yeah.
And that not only plays into his relationships, it also plays into his backstory, you know?
And I
Dude, this movie's perfect.
I
bro.
love that you mentioned that too, though, because he doesn't really have an origin for this movie. We
No.
still don't know his name.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened to his parents. All we know is that he suffered through childhood trauma. And I love that that's another element to this movie that they focus on. Trauma, PTSD, how the effects of your childhood come back to haunt you as an adult, you know, through the subconscious. And it kind of just, he throws it all up, you know, once he figures it all out. And it's crazy because it stays true to the core element of the Joker, which I think is just
It's chaos.
chaos.
That's what it is. And chaos doesn't need a rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
It is, you know? And that's what the Joker is. That's why he was so good. You know?
Yeah.
Bro, Joker just... Joker was freaking mean in this movie,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
When he became... You know, in this film, what I love is that there's a certain point in the film where you know he changed into Joker at that moment. That from that point on, it's going to be all massacre.
Yeah.
And I just, dude, I cannot stop thinking about every like little thing in the film, like when he got fired and he told the guy that gave him the gun,
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I still owe you, don't I?" And
Yeah.
his little lines, "Oh, I forgot to punch out," and starts freaking whacking on the damn clocking
Yeah.
machine, and just little details like that. And
How do you respond to the complaint? And I brought it up a bit after we got out of the film. The complaint of he's not the Joker.
That's stupid. That's dumb. No, I think that's really dumb. I think literally Joaquin Phoenix, he can play any role he wants to. He has that acting ability, I believe. And I definitely think that Joker was like his calling.
Yeah. It's the only
Yeah.
thing he could play
Yeah.
in like a comic book
Yeah.
thing. I know he was
I
up
think
for
this was-
Doctor Strange and shit, but if he was to say no to that and we
Yeah.
got this, the ultimate role for him,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, no, like I said, like, this is his calling. And Heath Ledger's Joker, Angel said, is cemented. We'll never forget about that. We're not trying to say, forget about that now. We got Joaquin Phoenix. He's the new Joker. No. Heath Ledger's is still with us. But Joaquin Phoenix brings a total different perspective of Joker, I believe. And it's something that everybody is going to enjoy once
Yeah.
they watch it. Once they really sit down and analyze his acting ability with this character. It was meant for him, dude.
Nicholson was the gangster. Ledger was the anarchist. Phoenix will be the madman.
Yeah.
Just complete madman.
Yeah. Well,
Deranged.
since you're the one probably who's on Twitter the most, and you see this stuff firsthand, why does that whole Joaquin, he's not really the Joker? Why do you think that's a thing?
I don't know. I think mainly
Because he has different face paint on or some shit.
I think it started with the way he looked.
Yeah.
It definitely started with the way he looked and the notion that he doesn't have a Batman. Right? But I think people
Head
misinterpret that. A character is a character unto himself.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess
Joker-
Batman's not Batman and Batman Begins.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, 'cause
Batman
he's
is
got no
Batman
Joker.
even without Joker.
Yeah.
Joker is Joker even without Joker. But
With
the really
Bat-
cool thing about Joker and Batman is that they're fully realized when they interact. They fully realize because they're exact opposites. And You know, I think it's beautifully presented in The Dark Knight, and we've talked about it so many times before. Joker is chaos, Batman is order. When they come together, it's just like a clash.
Smoothie.
Probably if there was a second film with Batman, then everybody would be like, "This is a Joker."
This is Joker.
And also, I think their relationship can be summed up with one beautiful line that Batman the Animated Series, you know, gives us, which is, "Without Batman, crime has no punchline." You know, that's completely right. It's completely right. It's why I love the Joker even more when he interacts with Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think people fail to remember that Joker is a character on his own. We get this. We get that here. And I love that they further add different things to make him more compelling. And I want to get to our next big thing, which is the fact that they hinted to us, or the fact that they told us in the movie first, that he was the son of Thomas Wayne. What did you think about that at first?
Bro, I literally was calling that. I was literally calling that out since like day one. I was saying to my brother a long time ago that what if this mofo just said, "I'm your son," and that was such a random thought. I was just thinking of things, and my brother told me, "No, there's no way." But actually, funny thing is, there's a lot of things in this movie that I was saying would happen.
I know.
And I was being told, "No way he would ever do that. No way."
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. But first was I'm your son. And it turns out, he's not the son. But the fact that he brought that whole idea of him being a son.
And then we got to see him visit Bruce.
Yeah. Then he went to go visit Bruce. He went to go visit Thomas Wayne. He got punched by Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
He got a Batman punch.
Yeah, dude.
That was a Batman punch for sure.
He literally got socked, and
it's just such a
knowing
cool
that
idea.
he was gonna get his revenge in a way.
It's a really cool idea to me. The fact that I was just thinking, like, wait, him being the son of Thomas Wayne, so Joker being the brother
of Batman would be
Batman, the illegitimate brother of Batman. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
That would be lit. You know? That would be lit. I don't know if that's ever been done.
No,
but
it still hasn't.
No,
I honestly would not mind that storyline. I would not mind if one brother was the light and one brother was the dark.
Yeah.
That'd be insane.
I loved that angle of the relationship between Joker and Batman because it only pushed the message of how we all care about our appearances, right? Yeah. So Thomas Wayne being this rich elite, he couldn't be seen with one of
kind of a Schwarzenegger
workers,
type.
You know? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He couldn't be seen with one of those.
Yeah.
And it totally makes sense why they casted Alec Baldwin originally for Thomas Wayne, because they wanted to go with that, you know, businessman elite kind of figure. And I think Alec Baldwin backed out because he didn't want to be cast. He didn't want to be typecast for that role.
Yeah, and I remember back when Baldwin was in talks, he was kind of he was described as this Donald Trump type. But I didn't really get any. Like I said, I thought more about the whole Schwarzenegger situation.
Yeah. I think they wanted him because he did a Donald Trump impersonation. So they figured, oh, okay, maybe you could work for this role. You know, Alec Baldwin, I think, would have been hilarious in this movie.
Yeah,
hilarious.
It would have been hard to take seriously.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It would, even though he's a good actor and everything, it would have been kind of hard to take seriously.
What did you think about the idea of him being the son of Thomas Wayne?
I thought I was down with it. You know, at that moment, I was like, "What? The Mandarin's not with the rings? Fuck this!" You know, I wasn't like that, but I was down with it, and I was ready to see where it goes. I thought it was a cool tease to the relationship, like the natural bond between Joker and Batman that exists. You know, they're destined to do this forever.
Yeah.
So you know, come on, in whatever form it shows up, it shows up. Dope. But I also prefer and love even more the idea that Joker is not bound to any sort of origin,
nothing,
or reality, or rule, even, you know. He just is, and I thought that was
so
I love
clever.
That. I love that.
Clever. Another double twist: the fact that he was adopted.
Yeah,
and we mentioned it before, but you're right. He isn't bound to anything.
No.
You know, madness.
He's not political.
Yeah.
He's not sane. He just is.
Yeah.
You know? He's sick.
He just exists.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That was really dope, and I love the fact that we found out that the mother that was taking care of him was also, you know, she had her own behavioral disorders, you know, and was causing him through all that pain. It just made me feel for him so much, which I didn't know if the movie would be able to do that. Would make me feel bad for this character.
Yeah.
And it did. It made me feel bad for him. But my compassion was limited the second that he acted upon his just deranged tendencies.
Yeah, because, I mean,
You know?
there's a certain point where it's like, I think you can be like, you got a little bit of leeway there.
Yeah.
Because the first time he kills someone, it's in self-defense. Then it goes into straight-up murder right like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, the door's closed like that. But
That's crazy. I get to the other point where
You're totally right.
Yeah.
It is self-defense in that
at
first
first.
one. And
then
who
he
knows?
just
Who knows?
guns
Who knows?
that fool down
Who knows?
right
Those
there.
guys could have done something to that girl, too. You know what I mean? Like
Like
if he
possibly?
wasn't there. Yeah. Like if he wasn't there to laugh.
Yeah.
Because his laughter kind of, in a way, if you look at it,
Saved
kind of
her.
saved her.
Yeah.
Because it made her get up from her seat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Even little moments like that.
It's a crazy
have
thought
lot
to think
of
about.
Perspective.
And I love the fact that De Niro kind of channels the way that we feel towards the Joker. Like, okay, we're here to listen. We're here to be your friend and stuff. Wait. What did you do? Like, what? Like, you can't do that. And I love that this movie, I just love that this movie wasn't like, it's okay to do this bad stuff. Like, it wasn't that. It was, we're there for people. We're there to listen. We're there for you. We can understand you. But the second you cross that line, we can no longer be by your side.
Well, I like
That
yeah.
to me. That to me is what the film spoke to me.
I like that De Niro in that moment actually. I mean, his character acted like a damn interviewer and was like, "Okay, tell me more." You know, like a lot of the time.
Let's get more out of it.
Let's find out more about this.
Yeah.
You know, whereas in a lot of other stuff, it'd probably be like, a commercial. You know,
Yeah.
like no, dude, let's bring some reality.
Yeah.
Like
Man.
I take this full over Jimmy Fallon anything.
What did you guys think about him killing his mom?
So that's another thing that I predicted, and I was being told that would never happen.
I really did not think he would kill his mom.
Why didn't
I
you
really
think
didn't.
that in a Joker film?
Watching the trailer, I felt like his mom dying would be his breaking point.
Right.
His mom dying by a natural cause or something like that, because she was the only thing that he could latch onto.
Yeah.
The only reason
Boy, was I wrong.
yeah, the only
I'm
reason
glad they didn't
why
do what I did.
thought
What I thought.
why I thought she or Joker would kill his mom is because, first of all, Joker's a maniac. He's not predictable. And second of all, hearing all these reviews on this movie saying, non-spoiler reviews were telling us that they do something so gruesome or things that you would never think. I'm trying to think, okay, what is something that we wouldn't think would happen? And right there and then I thought, you know what? This guy is going to be that twisted where he's going to kill his own mom on screen. And that to a lot of us is a big deal. Our mothers are like,
moms.
Yeah, that's like our love in life.
Yeah.
And for Joker to just come.
Where's that pillow at?
Joker completely just took that love factor.
Angel's like, I am the law.
Joker took that love factor and put a pillow over it
Yeah. Yeah.
and suffocated it
He
and
smothered
killed
it.
Literally,
This guy with the jokes, you know he'd do it.
at that point, you know, like, there is no turning back for him. There is no turning back. He's gone.
Yeah, it's shit. Especially when they
He
do
smothers
that
you.
King of Comedy
Yeah.
kind of little bit right
Yeah.
after,
Yeah.
which was really a fun nod to that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Man,
Shit.
The way I thought the movie was gonna go because of the trailers, I really did think that like she was his last thing before he completely tipped over and descended into madness.
I mean, she was.
You know, she was.
Yeah.
You're right. She was in a different way, in a way that I didn't think of, in a way that they made it so
It's probably good that you
fresh.
didn't think of it that way, though.
Yeah.
Like, you're not fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. You know?
Makes me worried about this guy right here.
I got through the whole episodes of Bandersnatch.
You did?
Yeah, remember?
Oh,
But
that's
that's because I
right.
chose like the
I was
most
thinking
gruesome
about-
ways.
Yeah.
But I'm not Joker though.
It's crazy because they flipped the relationship on where he channeled his hatred. Not only was it for his dad, and it was for his dad in The Dark Knight, and for this one, it was for his dad and his mom.
I mean, we are
but more so
talking-
his mom.
Yeah, we're talking about the Joker, you know? We're talking about mass murderer. The full... I mean, he's killed, like, hundreds of people in his history. I don't know how many people... I don't know if there's an exact kill amount or whatever, but he's the villain, you know? I like that this movie doesn't mess around with that.
No.
Like, no, this fool is the Joker.
Yeah.
You know? It's not Hot Topic. Not
No.
Damaged or Grills or anything
No.
like that. Get the fuck out of here. No, this is Joaquin Phoenix.
Completely twisted. Like, they had balls.
Yeah, they
to
did.
release this.
Hell yeah, they did.
DC is not joking around no more.
No,
We
they're
did
not.
something Marvel can't do. What
Oh,
do you guys
no.
think to that line now?
Angel's got more of an opinion on it than I do.
I mean,
Do you think he was right?
no. I don't think Todd Phillips was right in saying that. The stuff that they did here,
It's because he's a Marvel.
you'll see that
Angel.
in Punisher. I promise. You'll see that in Punisher. You'll see that in Daredevil season 2. Punisher jail cell.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
come
yeah.
on. That's
Absolutely.
basically the second killing in this movie where he kills one of his
But
coworkers.
we're not
you
talking
know?
about
He
just
can't handle a
killing.
roast. What I learned from this movie is don't roast people.
We're not.
okay?
We're not.
Jeff Ross is in trouble. Okay, I'm worried about Jeff Ross. You guys are worried about people like causing harm. I'm worried about Jeff Ross's life right now.
Well, we're not just talking about the styles of killing or anything like that. We're talking about overall story in terms of what this movie might.
I definitely
Like,
think the
what
realism,
it might-
the realism in this movie is unlike anything.
And that's what
I've
I'm
seen
talking
in
about. That's
another
what I'm
violent
talking about.
movie,
Is
Right.
that
To be honest,
it's gonna open like
Look.
a whole.
remember when we watched Taxi Driver?
World.
Remember when we watched Taxi Driver?
Yeah.
At the end of that movie, I was like, I honestly, at the end of Taxi Driver, I was
Turned
like,
to the Grudge right there. Dude.
at the end, that's literally what Taxi Driver made me feel like, The Grudge. No, but I was like, geez, that was like just disturbing. You know, like,
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think Todd Phillips, when he said that, he was like, "Let's make some shitty comedies. Marvel can't do that. Let's do that."
see, but I felt that energy here. I felt like,
What?
and we'll get to that later. The scene that I'm referring to right now is when he's on Murray's talk show.
Yeah.
And he's talking about, like, people can't joke about things anymore. Like, you guys don't find...
Oh yeah.
You guys find this funny, but you guys don't find that
Oh
funny.
yeah,
you know?
they're even
That's-
being woke. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Todd speaking to
Absolutely.
the character.
Yeah. Shit.
That was that monologue there specifically was interesting. I think we can dive more into that later, but
Did it kind of come out of nowhere?
I felt like it did come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like but those specific lines came out of nowhere. You know?
Yeah. You know, I mean, you can definitely. I agree. That did feel like a GTA moment where it's like it's on the nose and it's a joke and everything, but it's not previously established.
Yeah.
Like Arthur's whole thing isn't about PC culture. It's about, you know, trying to make it.
Yeah.
You know, so
Being seen.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's really not about the jokes and stuff.
No.
You know,
Because he in his head he thought the jokes were working.
Yeah.
Anyway.
and they were working.
They were working.
They were working.
in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That shit was kind of like.
Wait, you're
they're
saying
talking
that-
about political correctness. You know, they're commentating on political correctness, but they're bringing it out of nowhere, and it just makes it more of a
Yeah.
hoopla. But what was that, Robert?
I was just thinking. So you guys think that to his mind, he thought all his jokes were
Working.
working?
Yeah.
Really?
When he's in the club and
In his head?
he's telling all the jokes and everyone's laughing and everything, and Zazie Beetz is there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But and then we see what it actually is on the footage.
Yeah, because nobody's laughing.
Yeah.
You know how people think like, oh, just think everyone's in their underwear? When he's laughing and he's doing that uncontrollable thing, he's probably thinking, okay, the audience is laughing with me, you know, to make himself feel better, but it's actually a train wreck. You know, we see the reality through what they got on video.
It's like America's Got Talent,
but
where you
feel
get
like
people who can't sing, they've never recorded themselves or listened to themselves singing, and you get some like, but it sounds terrible because they don't know.
I feel like he knew that he wasn't that good to start with because of the fact that Robert De Niro bashed him. And I feel like right there and then, that's what let him know, you know what, you don't find my stuff funny then? Like,
oh, okay, that's fair.
I feel like that was a big part in his turning point.
How I read that was, oh, I'm okay with you guys not laughing, but you guys are laughing at me. And that I'm not okay with. You put my video up to laugh at me.
Yeah.
I would have rather heard you guys in silence, but I didn't. So what do you get when you cross a mentally ill deranged? You know? So
and also
that's where I feel like that built up. And oh, man, just like what a beautiful scene, honestly.
What I was referring to was when when he tells a joke, like a weird ass joke, and they're like, "Oh, you can't make a joke about that." Mm-hmm. You know, like they're trying to censor him. In a way, you know, that's what I'm referring to.
Like, because he's talking about what the director has spoken about recently. He says, I can't make comedies anymore because, you know, we're in a woke culture and people are like too sensitive now. You can't be offended. You can't offend anybody nowadays. So that's why he's like, that's why I gravitated towards making Joker. So what we're talking about is the line where Joker in that scene is like, you can't joke about certain things anymore now. You can't joke about this, but you can joke about this. So he's just referring to that and how it kind of came out of nowhere for his character, because his character was more about like being seen and treating others.
But what was
like
he saying? You can't joke about what?
Well, he made a joke about I forgot what the exact joke was.
He said
maybe
like,
it was in like the heat of the moment, because before he said that line, he was saying stuff about killings and people were booing him, and he's like, "That's not funny." Then this stuff's funny, but this stuff's not funny. If this stuff you guys find funny is even like people can joke but even say more gruesome things, but then when it comes to reality, those jokes are just completely failed. Like they're not
right.
He was saying, I don't know the entire dialogue word.
Yeah, we just got
word for word, but he was definitely.
He made an inappropriate joke.
Yeah, he made an inappropriate joke, and he was
being
being booed, and I think that was just a heat of the moment kind of line where he's like, you know what? You don't find this funny, but you find this funny.
No, but the other people were saying that, though. You can't make jokes about that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Remember, this was a joke. I think he says one
when
night
Robert De Niro
and the doctor lady.
Oh yeah. She's the one that said it first.
She's the one who said.
Yeah, he said something like, a cop went to a mom's house that night, knocked on the door,
then you
and
wouldn't
said,
think
"Sorry,
that...
your son's dead. He got drunk."
I just feel like it was really obvious. You know what I mean? Like it was like, this is how the director feels.
Is how he thinks.
He wanted to say that.
Yeah.
Is fine. That's what he wants, but he really pushed it in that moment. And that's what I'm
just
saying.
that one specific thing.
You know, and it felt a bit out of nowhere for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, I can understand if the whole movie deals with political correctness, but it just doesn't.
Because he says, "I'm not political," and then makes
and then he makes
statement.
and then it turns into a political statement.
Yeah, I think you would understand more if you actually knew like the outside thing that we're talking about, because we're bringing like a real comment that the director made.
I'll send you the funny ass
thing in the movie. Let's get back to the movie. What did you think about the dance scene? The main dance scene. The main one where he's going down the stairs and he finally...
That shit was hilarious.
Okay, so the rock and roll song came out of nowhere, but
I thought it was
I thought it fit.
Yeah.
It fit. The mood changed. It was one of those things where it was giving us a happy song, but on the other side of it, it's, complete massacre is going to happen now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those kind of things that the director went with, or the composer went with, but I think it was well done. And I think that scene was the funniest scene in the damn movie, bro. This guy...
Arthur!
This guy was jumping down the stairs, dancing his ass off, and thrusting into the air.
Yeah.
And as he's thrusting,
He humped that air.
as he's thrusting, the FBI people, both people,
Or the
yell
cops.
out his name. Oh,
Like they were just
or
watching
cops.
this thing happen.
I swear, I thought they said we're with the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, oh no, detectives. Here we go. Yeah, detectives. They yell out his name from the top of the stairway, saying, Arthur." Like, what the hell are you doing?
And
Kind
right
of thing.
when they say that, he does a one last pump.
He does one last thrust, and the music's like gone now. And so it's just
Rachel.
literally it's just thrust, and then everybody in the theater just starts laughing. It was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing during that scene. But I think it was perfectly put into the movie.
Yeah, that was also pretty impressive what the movie was able to do. As bleak as it was, there were a lot of moments of levity and a lot of moments where I actually felt like Joaquin's Joker was actually really funny. And it was because of the choice that he made to be like to embrace like his artistic side with dancing.
Yeah.
You know, I thought the physicality that he brought to it
He's a comedian.
was the
exactly.
was
It
the
worked on
humor.
us.
You know, which I feel like is really important with Joker. I need this for him to embody madness and humor,
Yeah.
and he excelled in both of those exceptionally.
That shit's hilarious. That moment is so funny just because it's like it's out of a completely different film.
Yeah.
You know, like that's like Due Date or some Hangover shit. You
Yeah.
know, like it was so different.
It was hilarious,
Yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I loved it. I loved
That song.
I loved
now,
it because
that song now. I'm forever going to associate it to Joker,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
it has been in a lot of sports movies. I think that song.
It's in an episode of The Office.
I think it's in Benchwarmers too, maybe.
Maybe.
Shit.
That song is a very known song, so
Yeah, they got a lot of good
But that-
good music in this.
that scene was lit, bro. That
It
scene
really
was
was.
lit. Seeing his makeup fully on now and prepared, that was lit.
Yeah.
I love seeing the bad guys rise, but you know what I love more? Seeing them fall. That's why I love seeing them rise. You know, and seeing his rise was just, it was dope, dude. It was dope.
Do you think he ever fell?
Yeah, he fell into madness.
Ooh.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. I thought you meant like failed, like
No.
Overall
He
plan.
succeeded, but he will fail soon when we
If
get
we-
into the future.
if we get another
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
know.
safe to assume that he did fail because he ends up. I don't know if you want to get into that now. I'm sure there are other things
To answer that, though, is no, I don't think he failed by the end of it.
of the film.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
What the hell?
Well, because we saw.
Well,
I
we'll
mean,
get
we-
to that, but before,
yeah.
so what's the next big thing after the dance? Is it the talk show?
The talk show. Yeah.
The talk show. Let's get to the talk
Dark
show.
Knight Returns, son.
What did you guys think
Frank
about that
Miller.
segment? Julius, take it away.
That shit got me. I love that book. That animated film is clean.
Which one?
The
Yeah.
Dark Knight
The
Returns.
Dark Knight Returns.
Okay.
We got to show you that, bro.
Oh God, that shit is a movie.
Yeah.
They should really screen it.
That's
in,
an epic.
in a Fathom event or something.
Imagine if they would have screened that before this.
That would have been it.
Yeah.
That would have been done. I would have been done. That moment is cemented in a lot of comic Batman fans' minds. The moment where he goes on the talk show and he's like, he's just really similar to how he was acting in the film. Very flamboyant. You know, it was a noticeable difference here. And I was waiting for him to say that one line. That's one of the most disturbing lines in the book, where he's like, "I'm just gonna kill everyone in this room." And I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
But he just got one guy on.
Yeah.
One guy down.
Yeah.
He got one guy down, but it was still very effective.
Yeah.
You know why it was more effective, I think, is because with the live audience, you don't see that on TV.
No.
With the guy that he got, everybody was able to see it. You know? That whole scene was really uncomfortable because you knew
Yeah.
something bad was going to happen.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
either going to shoot himself in the head.
Yeah,
Or he was gonna
that's what
take-
he was planning to
or he
do.
was gonna take somebody
He was
out.
planning on taking his own life in front of the entire audience, but
Or was he?
yeah, it just went sideways, and next thing you know, the camera angling, you
sound
get
effect.
the sound effects. You get glimpses of Joaquin Phoenix's eyes, and his eyes tell you all. Just like you know it's acting when you can tell someone what you're about to do with just your eyes.
Yeah.
And
A lot of the shots where the blood was on his face and he was smiling, a lot of those shots I thought were absolutely mesmerizing.
Yeah, and
De Niro got fucking Goodfellas. I mean, damn.
yeah.
That whole scene I thought was like really the point of the movie.
Actually,
it was just go for it.
Before that scene took place, we skipped the part where he killed the guy that lent him the gun.
Oh,
That's right. Yeah.
And letting his other partner, his old coworker, go.
That was a really hard scene to watch. Not only it's because it didn't feel like people got together and filmed it and made a movie. It felt like and it was like produced. It felt like it was like a documentary. That whole scene, like it actually, it felt like you were on a website you weren't supposed to be on and watching, somebody stab somebody in the eye.
Yeah.
Like, remember how we felt during John Wick and we like that's crazy. This felt. It felt like it jumped into our world. Like we didn't jump into the world.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it jumped into our world.
John Wick. It reminded me of that John Wick scene when he was just busting the dude's head through the book.
Yeah.
With a book.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that scene, but in this case, this one felt like what you just said, more real.
Yeah.
Like it felt real. This dude was bashing the guy who lent him the gun. He was bashing his head against the wall repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would probably say like 8-9 times probably.
Yeah.
Just bang, 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 bang. And also with the scissors.
When you would think that like
Probably use the scissors from us or something.
When you would think like okay, that's enough, like they would go a step farther.
Yeah.
With how graphic they were. And I'm really happy they made that choice, because for a Joker movie that's R-rated, I think that's exactly what we should expect. And they delivered on all cylinders with that stuff.
They did.
Yeah, man.
But I really did love the talk show scene. To me, that was my favorite scene in the entire movie. I think it just really spoke to what this whole thing was about. And it's really about this character study, somebody who feels lonely, and somebody who just needs a hug, warmth, and decency. Not because you're afraid that they're going to become a monster. Do it because innately you have that good nature and tendency about yourself towards others. Again, it comes back to empathy and compassion. I think really what this film does excellently.
My favorite scene's the ending.
And you get the consequences of that. And oh my god, the ending.
we'll
But Julius, what did you
get
think
to
about the talk show?
I loved
scene?
it. I thought it was the best.
Oh yeah, you already said it, the Dark Knight Rises. Stuff
Dark Knight
and
Rises, but some of the technical things, I think it's where the cinematography is the most impressive.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
where the
acting.
The
That
acting
camera
is
movement
definitely
is insane, bro.
Yeah,
That whole
it's
monologue, bro.
the most rewarding, I think, of Arthur's journey.
Yeah.
Because he just goes Joker right there.
Yeah.
Completely different mannerism, confidence within himself.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's a great reminder. This movie, you know how Breaking Bad took 62 episodes?
Yes.
Well, you get that in one movie with this.
Yeah.
You get to see a character go from point A to point Z completely.
But you'll still think Heisenberg beats
yeah.
fucking Joker.
Well, I mean, he definitely beats this Joker for sure, 100%. Come on. Oh, without a doubt. Come on, bro. He's sneaking that ricin in there. No way. Yeah, bro. 100%. But yeah, dude.
It took him like 3 seasons to use fucking ricin, bro. What makes you...
Bro,
Come on, bro.
In the first season, he used the meth. This is not meth.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
And did that kill him? No.
No, it took out a whole building, though.
But it didn't kill the 2 people in it. Anyways,
that scene was masterful.
the interview... Yeah. Not the
That
interview.
scene was masterful.
The talk show scene... I thought he was honestly going to be killing the audience when we first got the trailer.
Because that's what he does in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah,
Or Dark Knight Returns.
I thought he was going to kill the audience because this was another thought when it came to people saying that this movie did something that nobody is ready for. I thought they were going to replicate what happened during Dark Knight Rises, and that's a very, very, very traumatic.
Yeah.
That's a very traumatic day, and
that theater's not even showing this movie.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah. And I thought, you know what? What can be so just... What would make everybody uncomfortable? What would be the worst to show? And I thought that would have been it, but like I said, he killed... Or you said he killed one person, and I think it was more effective. Definitely, he got his point across. Mm-hmm. And he didn't have to kill anyone else for that.
Oh, 100%. And then when he's dancing after he just killed him and stuff, and then when he pulls the camera, that's straight up the energy that I was talking about that Ledger brought to Joker. Like, it reminded me of the camcorder scene.
Yeah. Oh, and you mentioned cinematography. Mm-hmm. There was this one shot I loved during that entire scene where the camera was just facing the reflection of another camera lens, and it was showing Joker's face in it for probably about 5 seconds. Literally, you just see the camera shooting towards the other camera lens, and Joker is in that reflection, and it was beautiful.
Dude, there's so many shots like that. I think one of my favorite shots is when after he killed Murray, the camera is on the left side of his face. He's got Murray's blood, and he's just smiling.
American Psycho. Compare the two.
Compare the two.
God,
yeah.
Compare the two. Put a photo right next to each other.
Yeah,
American Psycho and Joker right there.
It is a lot like that.
And just a lot of scenes of him looking at mirrors. A lot of scenes.
The movie holds a mirror to us.
Yeah, definitely. And now the last scene, bro. That is my favorite scene.
The last scene was just straight up Nolan.
Well, not the last scene, but you know what I mean. Like when
the end.
Yeah, the end of the movie it's
in the cop car.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Literally, I've never...
A world on fire.
This is where music really got to me with everything that was going on. Mm-hmm. The moment that this guy is being arrested and he sees all the destruction going on around him, and he's smiling, he's laughing, and cops are telling him, you caused this, and he's just telling them, I know, and just laughing about it. Next thing you know, an ambulance hits the damn car, and it was another
Joker follower.
Yeah, just another Joker follower just driving the ambulance, crashed into the cop car, and the angle of... I'm telling you guys, the angle of every shot in this film is amazing because it was shot from an inside car perspective, following the person's following the dude's face as he's walking across the entire back of the car. You see that two Joker followers come up to the car and realize that it's Joker himself, the Joker. They realize that, and they start pulling him out. And what did they do? They laid him on top of the cop car, and every Joker follower came to that car, and started cheering, "Get up,
bro.
Get up!"
Dude, it was like in Spider-Man 2 when they left him in the
train. Yeah, no, exactly, and.
Jesus.
And then music...
He went from villain to super villain.
Yeah. The music comes in. His dance. Finally, he does his dance in front of the people he's been wanting to do it in front of this entire time.
Yeah.
People who loved him. That is who he wanted to perform in front of. And he got what he wanted.
Yeah. He became the entertainer that he was destined to be.
Yep.
Through... insanity, madness, chaos. He what I love about that end is it really did channel the Dark Knight trilogy. For me, it really did. Like, it felt epic, it felt grand. It felt like he accomplished to be this symbol of just madness. You know, just like what Batman is for Gotham, a symbol of hope. He became the symbol for the criminals in Gotham who think that they can run things, but little do they know. What did you think about the scene of the cop car and everything?
Batman! That's what I thought when I saw that. That was the only thing I was thinking. Because as, you know, Joker's rising, he feels good for, like, okay, have your time, all right? You enjoy it, you know? Fine. You fuck the prom queen, whatever. Great. Batman's coming. You created your own downfall. Yeah. And he's going to be... It might be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Batman is coming for you. Yeah. No matter what.
That was insane.
No matter what.
I got to be honest with you. This was my favorite Batman origin.
Yeah. Insane.
Like the way they did it with the killing of Thomas and Martha. This was my favorite. It was epic.
How'd you feel when you saw Thomas get shot? How'd you feel?
I felt horrid, man.
You didn't feel at least a little bit like... You got what was coming to you. Even what the guy said who shot him.
No. Because for me, I think just the idea of taking somebody's life.
No, yeah.
No matter what they've done, like it's hard. It's hard to make that choice. And
but I mean, this dude is pretty responsible for. Not that I'm justifying murder, but this dude is responsible.
Seems like you're justifying, right?
No, I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't blame someone to feel very differently as opposed to how many other times we've seen the origin and the murder of the Waynes. You know, like, you're going to feel very different from Batman Begins.
Yeah.
As opposed to this, where Batman Begins, the dude, you know, Thomas Wayne built the goddamn rail system. Whereas here, he was part of the downfall of Gotham.
Yeah, he's a douche. But what I'm saying is, like, the way that they killed him, of course, I felt like it was just so cold-blooded.
Mm-hmm. And it sucks because, like, he, at that moment, was like, wait.
Yeah.
And it happened. But I think the reason why I also think that this is the best origin is because... I know that there's been multiple origins in the past, but I feel like for this one, we really got to see detail before that shooting happened.
Yeah.
A lot of detail before that happened, which made me more connected to it.
You felt the psychological torment that Batman suffers from when dealing with the Joker. That's what we got to experience. We got the point of view from Batman as well.
That's pretending it was Alec Baldwin.
Why don't you just...
It's just we've never seen it done like this. We've never seen it... We've never seen this done. Joker, standalone movie.
Yeah.
We get to know him. We get to know the entire story of why his parents died. And we get to see Bruce right there. Yeah. And the movie's not all about him. Yeah. It's not focused on him. God. But we're still like, we know what's going to happen.
We know he's coming. We know the greatest superhero of all time is coming.
And that was... You know what I mean? That was
Enjoy your time, jokester.
Beautiful scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautifully done. But I would say my favorite scene throughout the entire movie, favorite scene of all time in the movie, is him smearing his own blood and making a smile out of it. I don't think we've actually seen that. I don't think with Heath Ledger's war paint or something like that. With Nicholas, it's the acid.
That's just how it is. The chemicals.
It's chemicals. But with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, we get blood, and the idea of him smudging it into a smile really just gets under my skin.
Yeah, dude. It was troubling, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it felt like, what the hell? Joaquin Phoenix is in a comic book movie. Yeah. You know? Like, I know that this movie's distancing itself from the comic element, but, I mean, by the end, holy shit, you just want more of this shit. You know, like...
By the end, it feels like more comic book than... most comic books can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think it's because it refers to those roles that these characters play. Because it is so grounded. Like, because it's so grounded, you're picturing what is gonna happen. You know, what we know as fans, like Batman. What the hell? A Batman is gonna happen eventually here. You know, other villains are gonna happen.
God, I would love that, man.
What the?
I would love that, bro. Todd Phillips
Yeah.
is being a head ass right now. He's telling us that there ain't gonna be no other movie, and Joaquin Phoenix is saying he's not gonna be involved in a franchise or trilogy or anything like that. But it's all publicity stunt. Watch.
Yeah, dude.
This is gonna happen.
They're trying to pull some Spider-Man
Yeah,
shit.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I
Joaquin Phoenix is gonna say, "Y'all thought Spider-Man was bad? Chill out."
I want to see the Batman for this incarnation
Yeah.
of this mythology.
wanna
You know,
see-
like I want to see it so
I want to see them meet, dude.
freaking bad.
Yeah.
I want to see Joaquin Phoenix meet Batman.
Yeah. Did you hear what he said in an interview about what his Joker would be like if he met a Batman?
No.
He was interviewed, and you know, he wasn't asked like, "Are you gonna do Batman?" or whatever, but the interviewer he asked, "How would this character react to a Batman?" And he said, "I think that he'd just be really excited to meet a Batman," and that just. And I hadn't seen the film, obviously. I had gotten chills because it's freaking insane idea.
Yeah.
Another.
I just also love the fact that they go back to the idea that the 1989 Batman did, which is good does not exist without evil, and evil does not exist without good. And sometimes they can create each other. I really love that idea. I love the fact
Bro,
that
that's Joker and Batman, my guy.
I love the fact that this Joker,
complete
this Joker had a complete influence on the creation of Joker. Oh, I'm sorry. This Joker had the complete hand in creating the Batman
Hell yeah, he
of
did.
Gotham, which leads us into the very last scene. Julius, please explain the ending of Joker for us.
Okay, so we fade out from the main plot. Joker, he's up on the cop car. It's Armageddon essentially in Gotham, and his followers are worshiping him like a sacred cow. And here he is. He's doing his thing. Fades from that, and we hear his laughter. I thought we were gonna hit credits like that. I thought that was gonna be the end of the film, but we hit laughter, and it is Arthur's laugh. And he's in complete white, surrounded by complete white, in a very small room, interviewed by a woman. I don't think it was the same woman from earlier. It was a different woman. But it was a therapist, and it was very clear that this was Arthur in an institution. And, he was laughing. And then we see a very quick image of Bruce hovering over his dead parents. And Arthur's obviously thinking of that, and he continues to laugh, and he describes this memory, this flash, as a joke. And then the therapist is like, "Hey, can you tell me the joke?" And he's just like, "You wouldn't get it." And more laughter, and everyone in theaters like, "What the fuck?" And by the way, Arthur is now clearly older. He has more bone on his skin. He's not anorexic. He's got more hair.
And he walks out, and there's red footprints under his feet. What does that signify?
Well, I mean, he killed the
killed
girl.
that
Like,
bitch.
he killed the girl straight up.
Yeah.
But like,
He's escaping Arkham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You looked at it differently.
Yeah, originally I had thought like, it's all in his head or something like that. I was a little confused with it at first, but once you explained it to me, I was like, that totally makes sense.
Yeah,
Should we talk about our theories?
He killed
Yeah.
that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he killed that.
What do you think that scene really meant?
Well, the film plays with time, reality, really in interesting ways. For me, immediately I was thinking, this is definitely set in the future. And I think my own theory is that this is a future with a Batman. And Batman put this fool away. And and the moment, the reason he's thinking about Bruce Wayne's parents being murdered and Bruce standing there is because he figured out who Batman was. And then he escapes.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a crazy ass idea.
So, would the joke be that the Joker created Batman?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's the joke. That's the 1989 joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. I think that's a great idea, and based on that final moment alone, I want to see him go up against a Batman.
Yeah. I want to see it so bad.
Because he fulfills the role of the Joker now.
I want to see it so bad, and if that doesn't happen, I mentioned this after we saw the movie. If we do not see Joaquin Phoenix meet up with the Batman, I do want to see a Batman film that is a companion piece to this Joker realm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know we have Robert Pattinson as Batman, which I'm extremely excited for, and they want to start his own universe in that Batman movie, in those Batman movies that they're doing. But I want to see a rated R Batman film that is a companion piece of this Joker movie, because they definitely set it up just masterfully.
I think it'd be cool if we got villain films. You know, like a Riddler or a Penguin.
I was telling Angel that earlier. I was like, I really hope this opens up the idea of having these movies that solely focus on villains.
It will.
Because
the money it's going to make, it will.
Angel and I, Brightburn, we fucking love that film. Now Joker, God damn it, bro. They just keep on coming.
Yeah.
And I want it to continue, bro. Like what you said, imagine a solo Lex Luthor movie.
Yeah.
And we got to know exactly like his backstory and his intentions.
Yeah. Get the right version
Yeah.
of a Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Maybe him being respected until Superman shows up.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Absolutely. That's what it would
dignity. He loses his dignity.
be. Yeah.
Loses his mind.
He's finally threatened. You know, he's finally challenged.
Yeah.
In life.
Closing thoughts. I'm really, really happy that a movie like Joker exists.
Yeah.
Because it just makes the comic book genre much more diverse and interesting, and I cannot wait to see a surplus
And it gives
of these kind of movies.
a lot more possibility. Too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you think this will reinitiate clown sightings?
I really hope so. I really, really hope so.
Because I want to beat some clowns now.
I will run a clown over.
I want to
if I
beat some
have
clowns
to.
up. But I love the fact that this movie makes me want to buy a Batman costume and go beat up some clowns. That's what it makes me want to do.
Thought you were gonna say go beat up some hookers.
No, but it also just makes me more aware of. It makes me want to be better with how I want to treat people.
Yeah.
You know, like better than
Be
I
more
already
aware.
do. You know, be more aware, be more conscious, be more respectful, be more kind.
Everybody was
and
dick
do it
to him, bro.
and do it all with a genuine sense of warmth and with a smile on my face.
Look, I just can't wait to wrap this up so I can listen to it.
For me, I already mentioned, I think it's a masterpiece. I got to give it a 10 out of 10. What about you, Robert?
Music 10 out of 10, acting 10 out of 10, story 10 out of 10, cinematography 10 out of 10, and overall, I love that we get sympathy out of a villain.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that so much when we can sympathize, because that really makes our connection a lot stronger as well. So I would give it a complete steelbook in the collection.
Complete steelbook, yeah.
It's definitely a steelbook, 100%.
Yeah.
Julius, what would you rate Joker?
My ass 10 out of 10, my hair 10 out of 10, and Joker is 10 out of 10. I'd give it 11. I'd give it 2 J's out of 10, but that's not a thing.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that steelbook.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
I can't
amazing
wait for the
steelbook.
steelbook to come out. God, dude. God.
I'm ready.
I wish they were to do a movie with Mysterio standalone. That would have been lit.
And in one statement, how would you compare Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and Heath Ledger's Joker?
In one word? How
One
would
statement.
I compare?
Like,
One
what do you
statement?
think's the difference
Final
for them?
thoughts.
I definitely think be open to the idea that there is another Joker in the first place.
Good point.
Be open. Don't be closed-minded. And second of all, God damn it.
Don't expect the same thing.
Well, I said be open to a different like Joker. So yeah, be open to a different Joker and expect just whole different perspectives. That's what I gotta say about this Joker.
Julius, what about you?
All right. Look, chaos was never meant to be compared or, rattled or sanctioned. It's meant to just be, and the Joker is.
Mm-hmm. For me, Heath Ledger's Joker, I don't really see him as somebody who lost his mind. I see him as somebody who actually has clarity in his thinking.
Intentions and
he's not a monster. He's just ahead of the curve. I just think he has a very twisted perception on how he thinks about society and how everybody's just like him. With Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, there's none of that. He, just like Julius is saying, kind of just is. I think he is probably one of the most diabolical interpretations of the character.
yeah, bro, he's lost.
He's off his meds.
He's lost. Like we lost him.
He is completely lost and mad. What Heath Ledger did to me still is the pinnacle of acting. And the reason why I still have him over is because I don't think Joaquin's would exist without Heath's.
Really?
I don't think the way that Joaquin Phoenix approached the character would have been close to what we got if it weren't for Heath.
So what about Joaquin's Joker really reminded you of Heath's?
I wouldn't say reminded. I would say that his approach,
because
his real world approach.
We do know that he took on a different persona, and he actually did his Joker based off a completely different illness.
For me, I'm not sure if he would have approached that way if it weren't for Heath's like real world kind of grounded realization of his Joker.
So you say that Heath's is better because of the fact that you don't know if we would even have Joaquin's Phoenix if it weren't for Heath.
I'm saying it's a part of why I have it over, why I would still have it over.
Damn.
I honestly,
don't know if I would be able to put that in.
They're completely different. Their Jokers are completely different. I still think Heath's acting is better. Like I can still see Joaquin a little bit in his Joker. With Heath, even though I know it's Heath, I can't see him ever. I can never see him. I still don't see Heath. As many times as I've seen The Dark Knight, like,
because
I watched the voice change, the laugh, like,
it's crazy.
Everything. Like he's just, I think he's just a different being.
That's
but
crazy.
Joaquin, I would say, is like, he's there.
With Joaquin, I feel like I saw none of Heath Ledger, in my opinion. I felt like we just saw a completely different Joker. I mean, the hair, we could say, is probably the most similar.
That he actually paints it.
Yeah. The fact that he
lit, dude.
Yeah, dude. Just everything about him. I'm probably gonna be smacked for saying this, but I personally love Joaquin Phoenix acting as Joker more.
Really?
Than Heath Ledger's, yes.
Really?
I would say Joaquin Phoenix definitely. I definitely think that what he did
have to do everything ourselves.
I definitely think what he did took a lot of practice, and he completely owned it.
To be honest, yeah.
He replicated
pretty hard to do what he did.
An illness. He replicated, if what I said earlier, maybe even better, if that's even a thing. But
dude, it's pretty difficult to do what
if I'm being truly honest with myself, not biased, because I freaking love Heath Ledger. He's the best.
You got him. You're wearing him.
Literally, I'm wearing his shirt, my brother's shirt, which is Heath Ledger on it. But if I'm trying to be really truthful with myself, if we're talking about acting, I think Joaquin Phoenix takes it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point.
That's a tough one. It's a tough one.
I would also mention though, like
it can go one way or the other.
I would also mention like what Heath was able to do with PG-13. You know.
Yeah, and Julius and I were talking
him.
about that. That's something that I can never actually use as an argument though, because we never did see him as a rated R film, and we can't base
but that's
off
what I'm saying. Like he had the same effect.
We can't.
Like
I'll come into this cause a little bit. I was actually talking to Justin about the differences between taking his little brother to Dark Knight and Joker. You know, he'd take his little brother Charlie to see Dark Knight over Joker. For me, if I had a little brother, I wouldn't take them to see either, especially that kid's age.
Yeah.
But I think
we brought our little brother.
Yeah,
I know.
and I think the reason mainly is just the excessiveness of Joker, the film itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though Heath is doing those same things, I think what makes it more easier to go on, not rated R, is the fact that we do actually have a Batman, and it is about him. You know what I mean? I think that's what makes it a lot less extreme.
Yeah.
You know, than what we got tonight.
Yeah, this we got to see the dog without the leash. You know what I mean?
Enough from the clowns.
Yeah. Like,
But I only side with Joaquin only because I'm basing my decision off of what we have, and what we have is more Joaquin than we do Ledger, and that's a fact. We don't have rated R Heath Ledger. I can't make assumptions of how he would be
But
if
do
he
we
were
have
rated
more
R.
Joker though? We got 10 minutes of Joker in his own movie. We got a whole movie of Joker in Dark Knight of him doing the shit,
Wait, what do you
laughing.
mean? What do you mean of Joaquin? You're just considering the last bits only Joker?
No, I know, but like if we're gonna put it on a scale, right? If we're gonna do the math, like okay, we got way more of what we wanted to see Joaquin doing Joker shit, you know. Sure, we got a whole movie about him.
If we're talking about seeing, okay, which one have we seen the person play Joker more? Then yeah, Heath Ledger. But I'm talking about just the entire role of becoming Joker, being Joker, and fulfilling that role.
Yeah.
With Heath Ledger, he was already made. He was already there.
Hell yeah.
So, personal connection is making me side with Joaquin. God, I freaking loved his character, man. I just loved it.
Like Angel said, they're very different.
They're very different. Yeah. And that's why that's the hardest thing to really judge. But mainly my decision is revolving around acting as well. And Heath Ledger did phenomenal. I'm not saying he didn't. He did phenomenal, but...
Like, I can understand why someone would place Joaquin, like, either on the same level or over Heath. And that, I think, is a feat of itself.
Because of the backstory and stuff like that.
I just think the acting, to be honest.
The acting,
just,
too, bro.
His acting was
replicating...
his acting was Gotham's reckoning.
To do.
Yeah.
That's
Which was scarier for you?
They were both just as scary, I would say. But that's what I'm saying. That's what's really impressive about Heath, that he was able to do it PG-13 and less screen time.
Yeah.
You know? You have a whole movie of this guy. Heath got, 40 minutes probably out of that 2 hour and 40 epic? And what he was able to do? Yeah. My God.
But also, a lot of those scenes, we did have Batman with it too, and gave him more to do with Batman there. So I just wish we could have seen a standalone Heath Ledger, and that would have...
I know.
That would have probably... not even it up. That would have probably really settled things for him.
Shit?
Yeah. If we got a standalone Heath Ledger film...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bro. And
absolutely.
But trying to work with what we have, so... This movie, Joker, 10 out of 10, masterpiece. Yeah.
Whoosh.
And the laugh.
The laugh's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
The laugh is the illness. Like, that's...
The laugh was ill. The laugh was ill.
Is that like are you like?
No, I'm serious. The laugh was ill.
Oh,
like,
okay, you're hilarious. I thought you were
That's called a safety net.
Yeah, I thought
I'm
you were-
gonna say a fact in a funny way.
That's a fact.
but
A fact?
I can't get enough of this clown. And I think we'll just end it there, guys.
All right.
All right, thank you so much for listening. If you stayed through the whole thing, then you're not a clown. If you dipped out, then you're definitely a clown, and you won't be able to hear this. But thank you guys so much for listening. You all make this the greatest of all time. If you want to, feel free to subscribe. Please do so. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers and lead us to our next goal of 30,000 subscribers. If you have any comments or questions, please email us at thegoatpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll dedicate an entire episode to all of you. You guys are amazing. My name is Angel.
I'm Julius.
And I'm Roberto.
And this is the GOAT Movie Podcast. Thank you all so much.
The GOAT Podcast is proof you don't have to look any further for movie news, reviews, trailer reactions, or special discussions. Subscribe, get notified about what's going on, and I promise you'll be entertained by our daily content on YouTube. If you want more, we're on Twitter at GOAT Film Podcast, Instagram The GOAT Podcast, and the GOAT Movie Group on Facebook. Get connected with us, see what's happening, and make sure to love it while you're doing so.